Many of you may have seen my All Eyes on Me Tupac Decoded video. Well, if you have not seen it yet, make sure you go check it out. Tonight, I will be talking about the 90s beef, East Coast versus West Coast. So let's get into it. As always, this video will be for entertainment purposes only. The views expressed in this video are 100% alleged. This is for entertainment purposes only. This is my opinion. Be sure to like, share, and follow, but only if you're interested. Tonight, we're gonna take a closer look at the events that led up to the unaliving of West Coast rapper Tupac and East Coast rapper, the Notorious B.I.G. The East Coast-West Coast rivalry of the 1990s was primarily a conflict between the Death Row Records West and the Bad Boy Entertainment East labels, fueled by the personal feud between Pac and the Notorious B.I.G. West Coast artists felt marginalized by East Coast artists and DJs because East Coast DJs refused to play their music, despite high sales, which led to early diss tracks. The catalyst was in 1994 after that incident that involved Tupac at Quad Recording Studios in New York. He blamed associates of Biggie and Diddy. Shortly after, Biggie released Who Shot Ya, which Tupac interpreted as a taunt. After signing with Death Row, Tupac released Hit 'Em Up, a direct diss track targeting Biggie and Bad Boy. This escalated when Death Row's Suge Knight publicly disrespected Diddy at the 1995 Source Awards. The rivalry culminated into the unalivings of both the Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac. As you may recall, Tupac was unalived in Las Vegas during a drive-by in September of 1996, and Biggie was unalived in LA in March of 97. It's important to note the media's role. Many artists, including Ice Cube and Dr. Dre, later stated the Coast War was exaggerated by media sensationalism and was largely a specific beef between two record labels and their affiliates, rather than a geographic divide involving all rappers. So let's take a closer look at the timeline. Tupac was 25 and Biggie was 24. They passed away nearly 3 decades ago, but now there is a new wave of intrigue in their unalivings with the recent arrest of a longtime suspect, Dwayne "Keefy D" Davis, who I cover in my All Eyes on Me Tupac Decoded. The indictment of Davis is the first in Tupac's slang and raises questions about the unsolved unaliving of Tupac. Davis has only briefly appeared in court. Before Tupac was unalived in 1994, he and Biggie were friends and performed together on stage. It was an intense, personal, and beautiful friendship, said Justin Tinsley, author of the 2002 Biggie biography, It Was All a Dream. He said in their early 20s, the rappers ran around Tupac's backyard with unloaded weapons, playing a game of cops and robbers. Jesus fix it. They even hung out together on the set of the 1993 film Poetic Justice, which starred Janet Jackson and Tupac. But the following year, when Tupac was wounded in an incident in the lobby of a Midtown Manhattan hotel and robbed of $40,000, the tenor of their relationship changed. Well, I would think so. Less than 24 hours after the 1994 incident, Tupac made a court appearance in a wheelchair on SA charges against him. A jury sentenced him to more than a year in prison while he was locked up. Biggie released the 1994 song Who Shot Ya. Now, why would you go and do that if you don't have nothing to do with it? I guess they might as well make $1 off the situation, I guess, whether they did it or not. All the instigating, I feel like if everyone was not around them instigating, things may have worked out differently. Well, anyway, Tupac saw the record as a taunt, though Biggie claimed the song was written months before the incident and not directed toward him. Tupac, who was born in East Harlem, New York, was not having it. He came to represent the West Coast after signing with LA-based Death Row Records after his prison stint. Biggie and Diddy hail from Brooklyn and Harlem and are represented by New York City-based Bad Boy Records. Leading up to the 1996 Las Vegas incident, Davis's nephew, Orlando Anderson, and several other members of the Southside Crips beat up one of Knight's bodyguards. The attack was an effort at stealing the guard's Death Row Records necklace gifted from Knight at a mall in Lakewood, roughly 6 miles from downtown Compton, Ladd testified. It was very prestigious to these gang members to wear this, Ladd told the grand jury, and they wore it like a badge of honor. The violence that soon erupted between the Southside Crips and the mob Pyru, the local Bloods gang in Compton, was so devastating that Ladd called it the 10-Day War. It blew up, Devonta Lee, a former associate of Davis, said of the rivalry. He told the grand jury it was definitely a war. Dwayne Keefe D. Davis has not been sentenced for the unaliving of Tupac, as that case is still pending trial. Now, I don't know what's taking so long. They arrested him back in 2023. But however, he was sentenced in September of 2025 to serve 16 to 40 months in prison for an unrelated battery and fighting charge stemming from a 2024 altercation with the fellow inmate at the Clark County Detention Center in Nevada. The unaliving of the notorious B.I.G. remains officially unsolved, with no one ever convicted or even formally charged for the crime. While the case remains open, the LA Police Department and FBI investigations have stalled over the years due to uncooperative witnesses and a lack of conclusive evidence. As always, I would love to know what you guys think really happened to both of them in the comments. The views expressed in this video are 100% alleged. This is all my opinion for entertainment purposes only. If you enjoy content like this, be sure to like, share, and follow. Diddy did it.